My name is Alicia Couturiers. I'm with CAIR Florida. I'm the outreach manager for the state. I'm here today with a number of Darren Soto's constituents to have a conversation about what's happening in Gaza. We all know on October 7th, that was a reaction to something, not the beginning of something. The people that live in the Gaza Strip have been under a crippling blockade for more than 17 years. That means anything going in and out of the Gaza Strip is regulated by the Israeli government. That includes food, access to clean and safe water, medical supplies, and construction supplies. This was before October 7th. In addition, Amnesty International has reported that the Gaza Strip has been limited on the food intake based on how many calories it takes for a person to survive. Not to thrive, just to survive. That's the amount of food that the Israeli government was allowing in prior to the conflict that started on October 7th. A lot of times we hear about the hostages that are being held, that were taken on October 7th. Everyone that's here today would like to see every one of those hostages returned to their families safe. But what we don't hear is about the over 3,000 political prisoners that have been taken by the Israeli government since October 7th. They're being held under administrative detention, which means they are not being charged. They can be held indefinitely, and those charges can continue to be renewed indefinitely as well. When those folks are arrested, that means that they do not have access to any legal representation, and they cannot, when those prisoners are in detention, they do not have access to any legal representation, nor can they speak to their families. So their families do not know about their conditions or where they're being held or even if they're still alive. There's been several reports that show that the prisoners have been tortured. Hands and feet have been amputated because of the restraints that they've been put under as far as their handcuffs. They've been placed in diapers because they don't have freedom of movement even in the cell space that they're in. And some prisoners have even died while they've been in detention. More importantly, it's the amount of children that have been affected with this particular war. More than 10,000 children have been killed since the war started on October 7th. Right now, the Israeli government is not fighting enemy combatants. There's a genocide going on in the Gaza Strip, and the primary target is civilians, which includes 70% of the people affected are women and children. These are not enemy combatants, these are civilians. The Israeli government receives more than $3.8 billion in aid every year from the United States. That aid is right now being used to fuel a genocide. Since October 7th, they've been continuing to get additional support. With $3.8 billion in support and a 17-year blockade, and they still can't get their house in order, their reward is additional aid. That's not how we want our tax dollars to be spent. Hamas also revealed that the reason for the attacks on October 7th were because of the way the political prisoners are being treated in Israeli jails. They have recent attacks on the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the 57-year occupation that the Palestinians, both Muslims and Christians, have been a victim to in the occupied West Bank. This, of course, does not justify any violence, but people say that the conflict is a difficult one. It's not. The Palestinians simply want to live free and in peace with their neighbors. Having the occupation end and the blockade lifted will bring peace to the region.
Darren Soto, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? How many kids did you kill today? من المية للمية. من المية للمية. فلسطين حرة.